All right, so this is exciting because my YouTube like chat is up, which it wasn't up before. So
Okay.
okay, so this is promising. Now we're just waiting for. Uh, so we're live. So yay, we're live. Oh
Did
my
it.
god.
I think the first thing I want to say now that we're live is the fact that we are going to use Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson's blood to help people cure coronavirus.
That's insane. I
Isn't
love
it
this.
right? Okay.
Mac
Yeah.
and like with like the stream like system that I'm using. Can you guys just to be sure? Can you guys hear me? And then can you guys hear Juliette? Juliette,
Let's
say
see.
something.
Um. Uh. What? I don't know. I was trying to think of something fun to say, but I couldn't think of anything. Maybe I don't know. I could try and sing the Sailor Moon theme, but that would be really upsetting for everyone.
We have 9 viewers. I mean, you could. Let's do it. Okay, everyone says they can hear us, which is great. I
Awesome.
so I'm gonna put on my Instagram story again that we're live. Link in bio. Hello, welcome to everyone coming in. What I want to say is thank you guys for joining this conversation. I know it's kind of getting a little later in the evening, but I'm happy that I'm able to like be here with Juliette today to record and everything. If you guys would love to share this live stream, it would be really cool.
Five.
Julia and I are here to talk about some sexuality stuff, and I don't know if you guys saw, but I put like a little discussion post um, earlier this week or yesterday. Actually, it was yesterday. Just kind of asking you guys questions about like if you guys have any questions about like bisexuality and stuff like that, because this is essentially going to be like a little podcast. So welcome to the girlish podcast. Minus Gage, but plus Juliette.
Like,
Um,
we're interchangeable.
right.
Gage is still in jail since she pushed you.
Yeah, Gage is currently in jail because she pushed me. So,
Yes.
yeah, thank you guys for showing up. I just want to get a little more people in here before like we get the ball rolling. But a quick introduction. This is Juliette, everyone. Yay! Emily is right behind me too, so you guys can see her. Juliette is a friend of mine who we've probably been friends for like over a year now, maybe a year.
Like a year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Maybe
Time flies.
in a year. It was when it was like maybe I want to say maybe a week or two after Emily got hired. I will say it was the beginning of our friendship date because that's when I met you. When when I want to go back into our messages and see when I was like when I sent you that message because I think our friendship started when I was like you. What was it? It was like 'cause you followed Casey on Instagram and I wanted to one up Casey. Oh man, I
So
can't
there's
hear.
a yeah. There's Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Like a second.
There's a lot of static coming from my end, and I'm not quite sure why.
It might be for mine because I live near a busy road.
Okay, because
I can hear the cars. I can also go inside if you're like, yeah.
I think it might have been something with like here. I'm gonna
I can hear you.
okay. So I hate technical difficulties, but like yeah, there's just like a lot of static. I don't know.
I can't hear any. Well, maybe that's also something that I don't know. Because I can't, like, you sound fine to me, but
Can
I'm
you guys
also
hear
like,
any static? I just want to know. So there was weird because like essentially what happened was, hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I had to turn off the loop back and then turn it back on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I don't. So loopback, the software I'm using, like, they popped up with like a notification, and then all of a sudden the sound just like got really bad in like my monitor. So like it was just like a bunch of static. But okay, now that more people are here, hello everyone. This is my friend Juliette, and I just want to say that Julie has a Twitch, so the link will be in the description. It's twitch.tv/ those damn fish. So go support her. She's gonna start doing Animal Crossing streams pretty soon.
I used to do a lot of Dead by Daylight, and then I started playing Animal. Then Animal Crossing came out, and I have an addiction.
Yeah,
So
I think we all do. And then you'll be doing a lot of terraforming on there, right?
that's my plan. Is to do mostly. I think it's gonna be a lot of like changing where houses are and where like shops are.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of terraforming. I definitely, yeah. There's a lot of planning I still have to do.
Well, I'm very excited and like, yeah, I'm gonna definitely be in a lot of those like live streams that she ends up doing. So please go support her, and then whenever she's live, I might even be in the comments. You might see me there. So I'll go support because it'll be really good. She also has an Instagram. Yeah, that link is all going to be in the description of this. So go support. But we were saying before everything. So it's been like a year since we met, right?
Yeah.
What were we saying about Catesby?
I was trying to, because I met you at the midnight, because I was drinking at the midnight, and then you and Emily, and then I think you guys were like with some friends, and you guys also went to drink at the midnight. And I saw Emily, and Emily and I weren't friends yet, but I wanted to be her friend. And so I was like, hey. And then I remembered she had talked about you, and I was like, is your girlfriend here? And she was like, yes. And then she brought you over, and I was like, hi. And then it was something like you followed Catesby on Instagram, and I was like, I have to one up Catesby or something. And so then I was like, I forget exactly what I said, but I said something, and you were like, you responded, "Wow, you're so much better than Catesby." And then that was like, I want to say that was like the beginning of our friendship, because then after that we were like texting, and
And
then
that
like,
statement still stands. No, I'm kidding. No, but like, yeah, I remember specifically, like, we met like a year ago. We were, my girlfriend and I were with a friend, our friend Simon, and
oh,
we were like going, yeah, we went to the bar that night, the midnight,
I
which is,
think Patty was there
oh, it
too.
was with Patty.
Yeah, Patty was there too.
So there was a little group of us, and then yeah, so whenever we do go out and like in Gainesville, we would always start at the midnight and then end at the midnight because it was like a good like place to get like a cider, kind of get your shit going, and then kind of get like fucked up somewhere else. Gainesville is a very like small town with a lot of bars that are really close to each other. So like if you go to like downtown or if you go to like midtown, you're just gonna be there's just bars everywhere. So a lot of people just bar hop, kind of go to different places.
did you know that the midnight's like closing down?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, is it with everything going on right now?
No,
Or
it was like I think it was like before that they were like closing because
oh
my friend. So I had like two friends who were like regulars, and they don't like it when I call them this, but I call them like groupies. But they don't like it's like not like the connotation. They just like hang out with a lot of comedy people. They're like they hang out with the comedy people, and so the bartender like posted on Facebook that like the midnight was closing. That's how my friend out found out, and then she told me, and then that's how I know.
oh no,
Yeah,
that's
it
really
is.
sad. Cause
Yeah,
like it's a shitty bar, like a really shitty bar, but like it's like the shitty bar that like you want to be at. Like
it's a bar that I feel like is so Gainesville. Like it can't close down. It's just like Gainesville staple.
yeah, like really shitty comedy, like just like really like really not the greatest like alcohol. It's just like pretty much beer and cider. Um,
Heroin, I would say.
but like
I felt so bad because my friends just want to sit in the front row, and every time I would like sit, I like wouldn't laugh. Like I would rarely laugh.
oh yeah, it's I like I had a coworker who was like he did comedy there, and like he like wanted us to go out there. He was moving and they did a roast for him. So I was there, like I was there. Like that's how I started going there, is because he really recommended it. But yeah, like we met there, and so like my first impression of you was like Emily was like, "Oh, this is Juliette. You're very like bubbly. You're very like outgoing, and like yeah, you're very much yourself," which like I loved, because I was like, "Oh wow, when someone gives me like this like energy, like they care, and I haven't even met them, like I know that I'm gonna like attach myself, and like I'm gonna be like, oh wow, this is a good person. Like I want to stick with this person. That's, I want them to be in my life, because like you were just like from the start like wanting to be my friend, and I was like, you're so much better than Casey, but like
Oh yeah, you said that.
yeah, just because well, because you were making the joke, like because I had followed Kate Speed first.
Prompted it. It's not that Casey's actually been like I'm
No,
actually.
no,
It was me prompting a joke because Casey's
yeah.
been competitive, so I
Kate
like
Speed is
to like.
also another friend of ours, guys. So all right, but yeah, so like that's how we kind of met. We met like at a bar, and yeah, I was following Catesby and I wasn't following you. Emily had just started at like her job where you guys work, and so yeah. But since Juliet has moved to the opposite coast, does no longer lives in the same town that
Yeah, it was funny because like it was like at that time I think like some, I don't know if it was like in my life or in my head I was like I want to make a bunch of new friends, and then like knew I was leaving in like a few months, and I just like did that. And so I mean I think it worked out because I do have like I have Olivia, and then I have like a few other friends, so I'm like I love you guys.
yeah, it's so nice like to have a solid group of people. It did suck. Like I remember being really emotional whenever you moved. Even on my YouTube channel, there was on my YouTube channel, I don't know
It
if
was
you
all
guys remember, but like I have a video where I'm like, oh, I still have like my friend's like stuff in my car because she just moved, and like I can't like get rid of it. It was, but to be fair, like the reason I didn't get rid of your stuff for like a month was because
goodwill. Like it sucks.
the
It's
donation center was like on the opposite side of town where we lived, and so like I never went on that side of town, so it was just like a like out of convenience I just never went, and I'm like, no one sits in the back of my car anyways, so like it's just gonna
yeah, like I get it because it sucks. Like anytime I have something to donate to Goodwill, it's literally in my car for like 3 months because it's just like it's annoying. Like I don't know, like just driving over to Goodwill.
yeah.
But there was the boba the Goodwill that I would donate to. So I don't know why I didn't go more often, but
Yeah, but it was very like an emotional time when she left. She was like really close. We were getting really close, and like it was like wow, like the first people I've had in my life, pretty much since coming out. And like I was like wow, like I haven't really had solid people in such a long time. I was like finally someone solid, because like I've had like people that have come and gone who are like they were like I don't know, just they were just people that like definitely are like vibes didn't match, or like our the way that like we looked at certain things didn't kind of like correlate. So like I always knew like there were certain people in my life that was like we're not going to be like forever friends. So like to have someone come into my life, I'm like yeah, this is gonna like definitely be like a forever friend. Was like really nice, and it was like really hard to like let you go. And but obviously I'm happy you're an East Coast or West Coast bitch now. So
come here, just come here.
I know I want to so bad. I really want to go.
You want to move to LA? I get it. LA, like you've seen downtown LA, it's like gross. San Francisco does not look that gross during the day.
During the day.
Watch out, but like like
See,
like not to.
well, I've heard that San Francisco, like the Bay Area, is a lot more expensive than LA, right?
I I think they're about the same.
Yeah,
I would say they're about the same. It might be LA is a little bit more expensive
yeah,
because where I'm living, it's like granted, I live outside of San Francisco because I also think that if you live in San Francisco, you're crazy. Like you're paying like astronomical rent when you can just like live like outside of it or like near it and like just take the BART into San Francisco, and that's like cheaper.
yeah.
But yeah, I pay like our rent's maybe like $2,000 a month, and it's
So,
like it is a 1 bedroom, which is like upsetting. But we have like a washer dryer in unit too, so but we don't have AC. But I guess that's what I get for like living like in the north, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with like, I think we're spoiled because we're from Florida, so like with the humidity and everything, AC is like a given, where like you need it, or like your whole like your place is just gonna be like really humid, really sticky, and like AC is just kind of like a given that everyone has. And then in a lot of Florida homes, you see people who have like even like their fan going on all the time. And I remember someone commenting like on one of my videos before, like, why is your fan on in all the videos or whatever? And I'm like, that's crazy that like there's people in parts of the world that just doesn't have their fan on at all times. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, like the air circulation is so important in Florida with like the humidity. It's like ridiculous. So like it's a necessity here, but like obviously over there on like your coast, the air is cleaner and like it's more dry. So like natural or like the air from outside
It
it
doesn't
doesn't.
get like it doesn't sit and get like sticky.
Yeah,
It's not sticky. It's like dry here. Like I wear lotion every day.
I want to move there so bad. Like you have no idea. I love the questions that I'm getting, like on the chat. There's one person that's asking insane questions. Have you ever been concerned about the increasingly high levels of dehydrogen monoxide in the water recently?
Right?
If I made a chicken sandwich, is the chicken inbred?
I don't
What?
know what that
I don't know
like
what that. What does that mean?
Chicken like
is
an inbred chicken.
it's chicken. Like it's chicken.
Oh, wait. So like a chicken that's inbred.
Oh, I get it.
But
Okay.
inbred because it's inbred chicken. Haha.
I see.
Emily thought it was funny. All right. So I kind of want to like get into this topic because I think it's really fun and like yeah, I'm really excited to just kind of dive into everything. So welcome to the Girlish Podcast. We're getting into the podcast now. Um, but yeah, so I think the topic that we're kind of revolving around this whole thing is like sexuality, bisexuality, because we both consider ourselves bi women, and I think
Yes.
that yeah, I think it's important to kind of talk about it. So if you guys have any questions throughout, I'm definitely going to be reading the chat and we can like answer those. But obviously, we can kind of start off with like our journey of like self discovery and like how we know like who we are, like why we identify that way. I think it's important to kind of like break that down because I know a lot of people kind of message me like a lot about like what it means to be bisexual and or even like a lot of people don't even know that I'm bisexual. People because I have a girlfriend, they assume that I'm like a lesbian, which is not a crazy thing. Like on my YouTube channel, I've literally said I'm a lesbian, and then but I've also literally said I'm bisexual. So it's like always up in the air, like what I am. But like, I feel like I've kind of labeled myself this for a while now. So I just kind of want to be as transparent on my YouTube channel as possible. I want you guys to know that about me because like it is kind of invalidating almost to kind of see people refer to me a certain way. But anyways, to get back into all of this, I think Juliette should start just kind of talking about like if you feel comfortable, I can also start just kind of
Yeah.
like when you started like feeling like you identified this way and kind of like your journey of like understanding yourself.
So this is gonna be like embarrassing and weird, but I knew something was up when I watched the Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh my god.
Because
So you're a
Jessica,
furry.
no, listen here. I'm not taking that here.
She's a furry.
You need to hang off the
But do you
top and the frame.
Why? No, I've never seen it, but I know you're talking about the like the sexy like rabbit, right?
okay? Well, she's not a
Sexy
rabbit.
rabbit?
She's a
Well, what is
human.
she?
She's a sexy cartoon character.
Okay, yeah.
Something was up. I saw it and I
Got
was
it.
like, she's up here. Like every time I would watch, I'd be like, I don't think I'm supposed to be feeling this way about her. She's like so hot. But anyways, and then I remember also like playing with Barbies and being like, I think like I'm into titties too much. Like,
No, I understand. I feel you.
And so like I think I like, I did what I do best and I like repressed it because I was like, I'm a Virgo. So I was like, all right, like we'll deal with that later. And then I think in high school I kind of like came to terms with like, all right, like maybe like I am into girls. Like I think that's what that is. Like I'm into girls too. And so I've kind of like been saying I'm bi since high school. And yeah, there's also been like times in my life where I've been like way more like out too. Um like I've been telling like people, like I would tell people and friends like I'm bi, and then there are other times where I just feel like I'm not gonna mention anything. And so yeah, it's it's basically, yeah, like I've known I was bi since high school, but I've also like known since I was like a child.
Yeah. And
So
like that's like, and I feel like a lot of people can have that like understanding or like that self discovery at like a young age, but like can't really put words into it, like to it, until like they get older or they experience someone else who like identifies that way. So then they're like, wait, like I kind of feel that too, or like I relate to that. And so then I think a lot of like the age of like where a lot of people come out or like understand themselves, you'll start seeing in like in high school or like sometimes
yeah,
middle school, but like in high school definitely where people like are more like sexually aware, more just like aware romantically of like who they're into. And
I do
so
remember being in like middle school and having a phone call, because in middle school I also didn't know what being with gay was. Like I thought being gay was like being emo,
oh
like
my
goth.
god, yeah.
And so like I had a phone call with my friend about it, and like she was like, no, like they don't have a choice. Like they're attracted to like there's the same gender. And I was like, oh, so this is like a thing. Like it's a thing.
Yeah.
And then I became, I knew what it was, and I became like accepting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
And then
is
high
really,
school, I became smarter. Hopefully, at least. But yeah.
I know when I met you, like I like right away and like okay, this is gonna be problematic, guys. So stay like stick with me. I like okay, you can cancel me all you want, but you had blue hair, so I was like, oh, she's gay.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. A lot of people would be like, Juliette, you give off like really gay energy.
Oh, you did for for sure. And I would ask Emily. I was like, "Oh, is she gay?" And Emily was like, which Emily told me, and she was like, "I don't think so. I don't know." And then I was like, "I think she's gay." And I remember asking you, and then like you told me, and I was like, "I fucking knew it. I knew it, dude. I fucking knew it."
Like a lot of people are like, oh, you give off gay energy, but then I bring up like my partner, and I'm like, oh, like they're like, oh, so she's straight. I'm like, no, I
Yeah,
just I'm whipped, I guess.
yeah. Which like I think that, and like we'll get into that too, cause like you're like currently you're in a relationship with a cisgender male, and I'm in a relationship with a cisgender woman, and so yeah. So sometimes there's like this weird almost like invalidation that like I guess we can feel internally, but also that like people project onto us where they think we're a certain way because of who we're dating when like that doesn't have anything to do with it. And
I've
yeah,
literally had friends who are like, yeah, I thought you were like, you seemed gay, you have all gay energy, and then you mentioned your partner, and I was like, oh, I guess she's straight, but like,
so like I hate that so much.
yeah.
So I guess like I guess my question is like your background and like coming to terms with like you being bisexual. Like was it like a difficult thing for you to kind of admit? Like was it easy because like did you have any religious ties? Were your parents any sort of like conservative? I guess.
My parents are like liberals. They like didn't go to church. I think the one time I went to church, I told Olivia this story. I tell it a lot. Is like the one time I went to church that I remember. I started crying because they were talking about Jesus's crucifixion, and I thought people were gonna come crucify me onto a cross, and so I cried. And then my mom was like, "All right, we're gonna go," and so we left early. And that was the last time I ever went to church. And so I'm not religious. I grew up
Oh,
as like as a liberal, and so like at like it was easy and fine. Like even like coming out to my parents. Although I learned recently my dad forgot I was gay, which is like great, cool. But like I remember like coming out to my mom and like coming out to my dad, and like they were like cool and chill with it, and like I also remember at one point, like in college, I was like bring my roommate home who I was like really close with. And my parents were like, oh, like, are you guys dating? And I was like, no, we're not dating. But like, they were really cool about it, at least.
yeah.
And like,
And
Cool parents.
That makes me like really happy to just like because I feel like that's such a contrast for like a lot of people's lives where it's like where they're like people were like raised conservative, so things might have been like more difficult for them, like coming out or like their parents were like a certain way, and so like things might have like been like
Yeah,
weird.
like, I'm aware how lucky I am. And, like, I have really cool parents because I also have like extended family. Like, God forbid any of them, like, might be kicked out. Like, because like my extended family is like really conservative, and like I don't know how they feel about I don't know how they feel about it. I don't think they know that I'm out. I don't like I don't really have plans to tell them.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel like
yeah,
that's a lot of people too who are like who like grow up without like I guess like with your like extended family, like you're not necessarily close. So then like there's not really any point in like telling people like you're like gay, especially like if it's yeah like it only will be relevant if like one day you like end up with like a girl and like you go to some event or something like that, and like
exactly. If I
so
decide to like marry a girl, yeah, I
which would
have
be
thought about.
iconic.
Honestly, it would love
No
it,
offense to your man's, but
but it's fine. But
um
yeah,
so like
I've
when
also
wait
thought
where's it?
about that. Like, would they like go to my wedding? But like, also, I don't care that much if they like come.
That's funny.
So about like my parents and like my brother and like they would come
Oh,
for
I think
sure.
about that like all the time. Like when I get married, am I inviting my mom? Am I inviting my extended family? A lot because my
Yeah,
family's really Mexican, and a lot of them are Trump supporters, which is like insane to me. Like, I mean, that's like a different story, but like, yeah, I
yeah,
always think about that all the time. Like, will I invite like my extended family to my wedding? But
yeah, exactly.
it's weird. All right, so wait, what were you saying?
Because like my partner is like black, he's not white, and
Yeah,
so like I don't even know if they'd be cool with that either. But I mean, like I don't care either.
I like it's insane. Like the fact that like those kind of people exist. It because when you think about like everything and what it stems down to, like it centers around like just like hating people for no reason when it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't it add any value to like I don't know? It just upsets me because all it does is allow like doesn't allow people to be happy. So it is pretty frustrating.
That yeah.
And so my next question for you is like when did you like come out to your parents? I know you say your parents like
Yeah.
your dad forgot, but like was there like a sit down moment where you're like, hey, I'm gay, or was it like
No, it was like I remember coming out to my mom. I We were on our way to Disney World, and we were just like talking. I think my brother was like asleep in like the back seat, because I called shotgun. Oh, I might have been also that I was like driving too, but it was I called shotgun, and I have an older brother, so like clearly I'm like younger child syndrome. But I he might have been asleep, and like I was talking about something, and then she was like, "So are you gay?" And I was like, "Well, I'm bisexual." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And it was like, "Cool." And then like we kind of like continued to talk about other things, but it was like very like not a big deal. Like she just asked, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll be honest with you." And then I remember coming out to my dad because my dad didn't go with us on that trip, and you might have a little man in you, and I might have a little woman in me, which is like very problematic. But like
wait, did your
it was
dad just come out?
a way of like trying to accept me,
Yeah,
like, be open. I did ruthlessly make fun of him for it, for
that's
saying
funny.
that shit.
Because it's like outrageous. Like, why would you? Okay,
I was like, that doesn't fly, that doesn't track. Like that's not how this works.
it's
But
great. I always get happy when I see like you stood up for that and almost like you like made a joke about it. And Emily's the same way. Like if her parents say something problematic, she like calls him out, and then just like yeah, like
I
immediate. No, my mom would like say awful things, and I'm just like okay, because like if I know that if I start a fight with her, then it's just like it's all her way is just like it's just she like yeah she has trouble changing. So
That makes sense because like I also like I have a very different relationship with my parents than you have with your parents. So like
yeah,
I can say stuff to them, but I'm also white too, so I know I can say stuff to them. I'm not gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, there's like, for me specifically, I was like the household, very Mexican household. Um, there was like this like masculinity that I was supposed to uphold, like just like for my family, like be the breadwinner type of person, and like I just never was that kind of person. Like obviously, like I was just always, I always knew who I was, and like with my transition and everything. But like I did a lot of presenting, a lot of masking, my entire life, where I kind of like did everything I could to like appease my mother, specifically because like growing up, I saw my mom go through, and like this is a lot of I've talked about this in therapy a lot, but like my mom like went through a lot, like especially with the separation with my dad, and like it was like a big deal. And so I think as a kid, I've kind of like interpreted that I needed to take care of my mom. I needed to be the one that took care of my mom. And so growing up, it was like almost like a reverse role of like I felt like I was taking care of my mom more than my mom was taking care of me, and like it was like a weird like thing that like I was super like overly protective of her because I was worried of her being in pain. And so like that like kind of transpired into me like hiding like who I was. And so like when I was in middle school and like I kind of started like, I mean, I think I had a Tumblr. I think everyone did. Whenever you kind of get to like when you like are starting to understand other people who are like bisexual, or you kind of see a community like that. And so like I saw like I was seeing communities like that. I was very much like an emo girl, like throughout like my like middle school, high school. And so like there was a lot of people like in that community who were bisexual, and there was just something about the phrase or the term that like made me like it felt right inside. And like so like I was just like that just seems like so fitting for me. And like it just, and like with like my attraction, like I felt like I was like really forced, like really emphasize my attraction towards women because I was like raised a male. And so like I like really masked a lot. And so like in like middle school and high school, especially in like the conservative area of Florida, I don't know, it just was easiest to kind of be in relationships with women. And like they never really lasted long just because like it just, I never was straight. I never was like a boy. Like it's so like a lot of times like yeah, the energy is just was, I was just like yeah, it just never like lasted because no one was like seeing me as me. And and there was like also obviously like I could never like act on like my bisexuality or like come to terms with, and there was like a lot of internalized like biphobia that like I experienced where like I was like, oh, like I'm attracted to like men, but like I can't like act on, I can't see myself in a relationship with one. And like it was like that. But the reason I was thinking this and the reason I had that biphobia was because like I couldn't see myself with a gay man or like a man that like, you know what I mean, because like I wasn't a man. And with when I was in a relationship with women, there was something about the femininity that felt comforting, where like I was kind of finding like my like myself, or like I was like kind of like just, I don't know if that makes any sense, where I was like feeling comfort by like, the femininity of being with women, and like it felt reassuring to me, or it felt like affirming to me, I guess, if that makes sense. And so it was really easy to do that, especially with all the societal pressure. And it was just really like hard for me to like try or even think about being in a relationship with a guy. So I never was, and I never have been. But so like I kind of like internalized that a lot. And then so like through high school, people knew, like close friends knew that like I felt this way. And like, yeah, I kind of stopped becoming like a talking point, like my sexuality, whenever I was like telling friends I was trans, because
That
yeah,
was that could be the issue at the time, right?
yeah. And so like um yeah, so like my sexuality never felt like a, after like middle school and like in the beginning of high school when people started finding out I was trans, that kind of felt like it took priority over my entire identity. And so like I never really came out to anyone else. Like my family doesn't know my sexuality. Like even a lot of friends probably don't even know my sexuality. Like it never was like, it's never communicated, or like I never talk about it because like I feel like my trans identity outweighs my sexuality, which is really unfair because they have nothing to do with one another. There's a lot of
Yeah.
correlation between it, definitely, because like this is a big thing that we can like get in like talking about, but like coming out and like being who I am today made me like made me see like attraction towards men in such like a it just is such it's so much more easy, and like it's so much more like affirming and like real, because I'm like, wow, like this feels right, and like this is like finally for once in my life I feel like I understand like now like my bisexuality, and I get it now, because like I finally was able to accept myself, and I was able to like see attraction in my point of view, who I am now today. So definitely like there was like some really great things to come from me coming out. Like the comfort behind my identity or my sexuality has definitely been like really, really great for me. And so like it's been like a really, I don't know, awesome thing. Yeah. So it's been yeah. So I think what I want to like ask you is, if you don't mind sharing, because I think I know the answer, but like I just like I want to like present it. But like if you don't mind sharing, like because I've talked with you about it, and like I've never been in a relationship with a guy, because like it just like it didn't work out that way. I've been with my girlfriend for the past 5 years, and
Exactly.
we've just kind of been together. Like I never. Wait, what'd you say?
Just been vibing.
Right. And like there's just been, because my attraction like didn't really feel affirmed until I transitioned, and like I didn't feel comfortable. So there was no opportunity for me prior to even think about it. And like things just kind of play like things just kind of played out, and like since coming out I've been with my girlfriend for the entirety of that, which I'm happy about, and like there's no regrets about that obviously. But like yeah, I just never like did that. But that doesn't take away from my bi identity, and I feel like a lot of people kind of feel that way when it comes to like bisexuality. They feel like it's um yeah, they're like, I know there's a lot of times where people are um what's the word I'm looking for, where yeah, people are just haters, or people are like just like fucked up because they'll be like, oh, you've never been with the opposite gender, how do you know that you're into them? And so like
Exactly.
that's kind of like what happened with me, and I just wanted to ask you like if you have a similar story, which I know.
Yeah, I've mostly been with men. There was like one time that I've been with a girl, and but like actually there's been a couple times. But all the other times it was like we were like drunk too. But yeah, it's like I've mostly dated men, and I haven't really had experience like dating women. And a lot of the times like I feel like myself, I'm like, oh, like I'm not gay enough, like I don't deserve to say that I'm bi, because like I've only had experience with men. I've been dating my partner for like 3 years now too, so it's like I'm not gonna just be like, all right, bye, like I'm gonna go try out like women, because I'm like, this is going good too. And so yeah, it's like we've definitely had like the same experiences but like opposite, because yeah, it would definitely, yeah, I haven't dated like girls ever, but I do know that like I like girls, and sometimes I have to like remind myself that it's like, like you do these things and you like these things that like aren't exactly straight. And so it's also like me reminding myself, I think, is a part of it, because but also sometimes I'm like tired of dudes, like
I feel that
sometimes,
like hardcore.
yeah.
Some, well, like obviously I've never been with one, but like men are trash, like truly, and it's such a
Oh,
shame that there's like I'm attracted to them. Like it really is a shame, and
yeah, there's like I've had like exes fully be like, yeah, like let's be friends. And I was like, like I really liked your like personality. Like you seem like a nice person. And fully it was just like a scheme to like get nudes from me. And I was like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like I wanted to be pals. Like you just are like in this for something else. And like I've not experienced that. Like granted, I haven't dated any girls, but I don't think that if like I had a girlfriend and we broke up and she was like, I still want to be friends, I don't think she would it would be like this plot to like get nudes from me. Like
right.
genuine, like, you guys try to be friends.
Yeah, and that's what I've noticed, like being in a relationship with like Emily, being in a relationship with another woman, how like affirming it really is to like, it's just really nice to like, cause like there's like obviously no like intentions that are like weird, cause like I feel like there might be like gray lines with guys and like, or like there's even like an over sexualization of you, and like it just never feels that way. It feels like pretty comforting. And so like I know, especially when I'm going through a lot of emotions, there's a lot of understanding, and obviously there's men can be understanding, like I understand that, but I just like I've found it being like really comforting being in the relationship that I'm in. But I'm also really lucky to like have who I have. So yeah, it has been like, yeah, but at the same time, like men are
I
trash.
think relationship is like hard, like in itself
Wait,
too.
what?
I think finding like a long lasting relationship is just hard in itself
Yeah,
too.
definitely. Um,
I think it's truly just like getting lucky.
yeah, and like that's like what it kind of comes down to. It's just like people come in the right time, and like, and that's another thing. It's like, yeah, like not being able to obviously, or not having like many experiences with like the opposite uh, gender, or like opposite, yeah, sex or whatever gender, but like not having many experiences, it just comes down to like the timing of everything, and like societal's like pressure of like you having to perform a certain way. That's like just, yeah, like it plays like a big role. And so like I think it's really important to kind of like push or like talk about that like regardless of who you've been with, like it doesn't matter like what the way you identify. Like if you feel a certain way, then that's okay and that's valid. I mean, like before like I transitioned, like before I was like physically transitioning, I had people referring to me as like she her pronouns because I just preferred it, I liked it. And you know there was obviously people that were maybe uncomfortable by it because they were like, oh, like you don't look like a woman, like you aren't socially transitioning, but like it was still something that I had to like, you know, progress or like how to get through. And but I was still valid in my identity because of like it. So it's kind of like, yeah, that's what like the big thing. And yeah.
Yeah.
So I have, oh, I guess I have a funny story that I wanted to share. I don't know if you have any funny ones, because I thought about this the other day, and I was like, oh, I have to tell this story. It's really embarrassing, and like uh so like, okay, so hear me out. Okay, so also there's someone that keeps coming in our chat with like different accounts, just
Oh,
spamming like the N word, and I have to keep putting them in timeout. So
oh, you should definitely block them. I wonder because I know Twitch has a thing where you can be like this person, like they keep creating accounts and
yeah,
then they get their IP gets blocked.
yeah, it's fine. I have weird people follow me for weird reasons. Um,
Oh, report. Perfect. Oh, okay. I have to choose one. I guess I'll go with hate speech. Guys, what should I choose? See.
can you see like, okay, let me see.
Block them. Block. Yeah,
I'm gonna,
definitely. They're literally fully
no,
saying
no,
the.
no, no. I literally made them a moderator.
Oh my.
I'm trying to ban them. Hold on. Cuz like I, okay, so I can remove the user too. So like I can't ban them. I have to put them in timeout. There's not like a ban. I can like report them. I'm going to do hate speech.
Let's see.
Um
I'm also gonna see.
so but anyways, like if they come in again, it's whatever. And I'm sorry you guys have to keep like dealing with that shit. But it comes with the territory of being so beautiful that weird people have to keep following you and being so annoying. Um, but yeah, when it comes to like, so like I know a lot of people are saying block, but like, I physically can't, not with like the phone that like I have or the account that I have, because like right now I'm on my phone and like I can't block them unless I go on their account, and like I can't go on their account right now. But regardless, if they come in again, I'll just put them in timeout again.
Yeah. That's like disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty shitty. Uh,
Can you see?
yeah, I love Brucey.
You're on a live stream. Wow.
That's Andre.
Yeah, that is my partner.
We love that. But but like okay, so hopefully that everything is resolved now. But I wanted to tell a story that I thought was really funny, just because like I was so sheltered growing up, and like especially like I said, being like in the town that I was in, like there was like even if I was like publicly or outwardly like bisexual, like there's no way I could have like yeah, there's like no way I could have acted on it because like a lot of people were still internalizing a lot of things in that side of town, and there's a lot of like people who were just like assholes who like yeah were really fucked up. Um, so like the shitty thing or the funny thing that I did. Um, hold on, someone's telling me to. Yeah, I can't hold their name and like block. But anyways, so like what was funny that I did and like I wanted to feel so like um I wanted to feel my bisexuality so hard that like I remember having like a like on my MySpace account or I made like maybe if you guys remember what my yearbook was, like I had one of those like accounts where like you could like so like so my yearbook was basically it's now it's called Meet Me. I don't know if it still exists, but it was like a website where it was like almost like a dating website where it was like people near you and like it was a cool concept because you would like like look at other people and then you would say that like if you found them like if you wanted to secret admire them and then they would get a notification saying oh someone secret admired you, here's 10 pictures and you have to guess which one secret admired you, and then so if you guess right then it's like kind of like a match, and then like you guys like are able to like be friends and stuff like that. So it was a really cool concept, but like I remember like wanting to like feel affirmed in like my bisexuality so hard that like I made up having a boyfriend like on that like website, and I would like write about him like in like these posts and say like oh like I miss you, and like I would just like write all this stuff like oh I'm thinking about him right now, and like I remember like it was so like embarrassing, but like truly is like that like I just wanted to like kind of feel free of like having like being afraid of like my identity, and so like that was on being like online was like a it was almost like a private thing where like it felt like so like a different world than my real life world, and I was able to perform in it better than like obviously real life. So it's just a funny thing that I did.
Yeah. I don't have like a lot of stories like that because I think as a young child I was very like let's. Sorry. Andre just left, so I was still trying to see if I could see him. Oh, he's in his car now.
Oh,
Sorry.
is he going to the lab?
He was going to the lab now to water his plants.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like popping up. But yeah, I don't have a lot of stories like that because I do remember like as a kid I was very don't ask, don't tell, you know? Like I was like, I'm not gonna like say
Yeah.
anything about this. Although I remember there was like a childhood friend that I had who like I don't think she knows she's gay. Because we would like do kind of gay things together. But I don't think like I don't know if she's like had the realization that like oh what we were doing was like pretty gay.
Oh my god. Wait, how old?
It was like 7 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah, and we would like kiss and stuff.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
like thinking like I'll just think about sometimes be like I wonder does she know like something's up with her too? Like it's not just me. Like I was not the instigator like all the time. Like something's up with her too.
That's really fun. I used to have conversations, and like I've never admitted it as to like on here, but I used to have conversations with like my cousin when I was like really little, of how like we were like unhappy with like the gender we were in,
Oh,
and like that cousin like now has a kid, and like is like in a relationship with someone, and like but I specifically remember us having like that conversation of us both feeling like uncomfortable or like really like not like who we should be, and like it was like the first time someone like had verbalized that with me, and like the first time I was able to verbalize it back, and we were like like probably like 6 or 7, like maybe younger. Like it was like I remember that vividly, and us like just kind of talking about that, and like obviously like we didn't like say it out loud to other people, but it was like a I don't know, we were kids and we were already kind of like knowing that it was bad, but like it was like yeah, I know like when you're kids, you're so much more aware or so much more willing to like yeah,
explore things
yeah,
too. And you just like don't know stuff is wrong yet until like, well, I mean, like it's not wrong, but you don't know like stuff is considered taboo until like you learn, and then you're like later in life, like, oh, actually, that wasn't like that bad. Like it's fine. Like that
yeah.
was normal.
It's like yeah, I it's crazy. I mean, you're younger, like just that kind of stuff. But I
Yeah.
did want to answer some questions. We had like one person like ask us a million questions, which was like really like great, and like I'm really happy. And we might have already answered it like a bunch of them, but
Mhm.
yeah. So I asked you guys like if you had any questions regarding like bisexuality or like what you felt about it, and so yeah. So this person asked a lot. Let's see. Oh yeah, have we ever dealt with like biphobia? Have you ever had anyone like tell you like you're not like bisexual? Like
Not really, because I've like surrounded. So in high school, I was out, but I don't know how. I don't remember if I talked to my friends about it that much. I remember I talked to. Actually, I did probably talk to my friends about it, but I didn't really have people. I was also like mostly single in high school. Like I was embarrassing, and like so I was like mostly single. So no one could be like, "Oh, you're dating a dude." So like, are you really like bisexual? Like I was just single,
yeah,
and so I didn't really have a lot of that. I didn't really have a lot of people telling me like, "Oh, like pick one." I didn't have that in college either. I had like a lot more gay friends in college, and then like in the beginning of college, and then I got a lot more straight friends too.
yeah,
And so um, I didn't really talk to my straight friends about being bi until like later, and I would just like because I think also my new way of like coming out to people is just like dropping like massive hints until they're like, oh, I thought you were. I just like wasn't sure, and
yeah,
so I didn't really talk about that. But late I haven't had a lot of people like bisexual because I think they see me with my partner and they like assume I'm straight, and then like it's really hard. I think part of it is just like really hard to know like who's safe to talk to and who's like not safe to talk to. And granted, the community that I'm in now is like it's like it's not like they're very like liberal. Like
hmm
it's like being bisexual is like one of the more like common things for people to be. Like there's people who are like polyamorous too, and there's like a lot, especially like what because I do a lot of swing dancing. That's what I'm talking about. Is my community is like swing dancing, and so like there's a lot of people in it who are like using like they them pronouns, and that's like a thing that like people ask like in California too, like a lot more is they're like, what are your pronouns? And they try to like normalize that like a lot more.
which
And
is
so
great.
like yeah, like I've been lucky enough not to experience a lot of biphobia, but I'm also someone who like doesn't bring it up because I'm like I'm not really ready to like be like I don't know what I would do if someone's like, no, you're dating a dude, like you're not, like you're just
Yeah,
saying.
and there's like a lot
So,
of there's a lot of trust that goes with just like when it comes to like obviously like wanting people in your life, you don't want to like drop the ball all the time. Like you have to build some level of trust. And like
Exactly.
I mean I do that when like I first meet people. I'm so quiet and like I realize that. And like I think our friend Casey, she even mentioned that. She was like, "Oh, like Olivia's was really really quiet whenever I first met her, but like obviously when I got to know her, like she opened up a lot."
Do you remember the joke I made?
No, when what?
We were talking about like talking to Sable, and you were like, "Yeah, she's like really shy," but then like when you get to know her, she talks, and I was like you, and then you were like, "Cancels."
I Sable is my favorite, like literally my favorite because we are the same person.
I hate to say it, Sable is you.
I
Literally,
love Sable. Sable
he's,
is I identify so hard as Sable. Like I want a Sable tattoo. Like
you should honestly, I support that hardcore. You should get it.
I mean, honestly I might consider it because like I love Sable.
Come visit me.
Wait, what?
That's, you have to get it when you come visit me, and so I can like come with you and watch it.
Okay. I'll have to like figure out a good way of like getting it or like wanting it on my body. But yeah,
Yeah, you should
but
do it for.
when it comes to like when it comes to being comfortable with someone, like I think that's important and like wanting to make sure that like you obviously are in a safe space before you
Yeah,
kind of like drop the ball or like admit like how you feel or like talk about who you are because it is a vulnerable thing and when you like kind of open up to someone you're putting a lot of trust into them so
exactly.
like
Even if it was just like if you were just a kid, like it would still be like a lot to just like drop on people.
yeah.
Like Red are a lot more accepting now. Like I even saw this like funny TikTok where it was like these I want to say they were Mormons and they were like coming to people's houses and this guy was like, "Oh, okay, honey, can you get over here?" And it was like his husband. And they were like, "Oh, we're accepting of gay people." And he was like, that usually works. I was like, man. So like granted, it's definitely easier for gay people now, but I'm sure they also have like a point where they're like, all right, like I gotta see if you're cool yet.
Yeah, and like yeah, I mean it's really just it's like having to just make sure that like you're safe. You want to make sure that no one's like has ill intention, but it's also like a personal thing where it's like you don't want to open up to everyone about like all these like little details in your life, and so like
It's
it,
like that Lamborghini bit, like where he's like, for anyone who's seen my parents and like seen my dick and met my parents needs to like has to like die or something. It was like that, and I identify with it so
for
hard.
sure, like
Like yeah,
like
like Andre is either here like till the end or he's dead. Like it's not like
wait, are you just admitting to having murdered him? This is like admission right now.
I'm fully Carol Baskin.
Killed her husband, whacked him. All right, let's go to a new question.
But it's also the same with you and Emily. Like you guys have seen me cry, so like
You've seen
you're
me.
either or done. It's done. You guys.
We've seen you at your worst. I
Yes.
won't mention it again. Feel like I do every time, but we've
It's also
definitely seen.
like yeah, no, exactly. You guys can't walk around now like remembering that.
Yeah, we've seen you at your absolute worst, but I mean it's fine. We love you more for it. I would say.
Surprising. Absolutely surprising.
Should we tell the story here live right now?
Yeah, we can do it. We
Okay,
can
are
do
you
it.
sure? I don't want to make you uncomfortable. Oh,
It's
my face
like
hurts.
it's fine, you know, like it just looks poorly on me and it's fine.
No, okay. No, I think everyone kind of goes through this, but like, so it was like Juliet's it was like you're leaving, as in
Yeah,
like,
it's like a going away thing.
yeah. So we were just kind of celebrating. We ended up going and we like bar hopped a little bit, and Juliet got so drunk, like so drunk, like to the point where I was telling Emily we were like at the last bar we're in, and then like you were dancing and like progressively throughout the night, like I could just tell like the things you're doing, like it was just like I was like Julia, yeah, but I was happy. I wanted you. You were so happy, and I wanted you to be happy.
The thing is, sometimes when I get drunk, I go, "This feels really good. I should keep going," and so I
Yeah,
keep going, and I don't think about like this is a good stopping point or this is a good rest point. just like be at this for a while and then continue later. Like in my head, I'm just like, all right, keep going, like
Right.
keep going. And so then I end up like that.
And yeah, and so like Juliet got so fucking plastered that night, like really fucking drunk. Like I could just tell like we were at our last bar, and like it was like I was like, so I was tipsy like going into the bar, and then by the end of it, I had like sobered up because I only had like two drinks, and yeah, I was like I was in a good place where I was feeling good. What?
Or whiskey, got you and Emily a double shot of whiskey and coke,
And
and
I
out on it.
yeah, Emily called you out. Emily like was like this is a double,
I
and
was like, yeah.
but I ended up drinking that whole thing. So I had those like she like drank a little bit. So but I drank the whole thing, and then I had like another drink before that, and like yeah. So I got like a little tipsy. So we were going to the bar. I was feeling good, but you were so fucked up. And so like yeah, throughout the whole night, I saw like Juliet get more and more drunk, and then so by the end of the night, we're at our last bar, and she was like she was just a zombie, but she was like dancing with the music, but you could just tell that you were kind of like, you know what I mean, like you were just like out of it, like it wasn't a human being anymore, it was just like what.
I remember leaning on you. Like I was like, I do remember there was a point where I was like, I know I can't drink anymore. And anytime I get to that point, it's like too much. Like I've had too much.
Yeah, and then
And
so yeah, and like we were in the bar and you started like leaning on me more and more. And then so I was like, okay, like we have to go now. And I think it was kind of like to the end of the night. So I like carried you, almost carried you out. Like I like basically held your hand and like had my arm around you, and like we were like walking out, and like I was holding you the entire like drive to the car. And then the entire time you kept talking about how great Emily's tits were.
you can remember that in front of our male coworker too.
Yeah, and so I
Because
mean,
drunk
at the
me.
time I was like, what are you doing, Juliet? Why are you like this? And so I was like, okay, Juliet, let's get in the car. Okay, Juliet, let's get in the car. And so we ended up.
Friends with me. That's like the wildest part of the story. Is you're still like Juliet. Yeah, like wow.
So I like forced her into the car after like her talking to our male coworker for like 10 minutes about how great Emily's tits were, and so I like pushed her in the car basically. I was like, all right, we have to go, and then like on the drive home, like you were not feeling good, and like I'm sure being in the back seat made you really motion sickness, like it made motion sick, and then it's
Yeah,
like also on top of you had drank a lot, so like I was driving home because like I was sober at that point. I was sober at that point. And so
we were
anyways,
gonna mean too.
oh yeah, you wanted poutine so bad.
I always that is my drunk food. Is I'm like
Yeah.
poutine.
And then so I think we were gonna stop or try maybe like get you some, but then like you were like you threw up. You got really you started throwing up. You're like I can you guys pull over, and you got really serious. And I was like I was like in a weird part where I couldn't just pull over, but then I eventually was able to like pull over, and you like were throwing up in your hands. I know this is like a lot, but you were like throwing up in your hands, and we're like Julia, and then so we like pulled over, and you're able to like let a lot of it out like on the side of the car and everything, or like outside, and then so I drove more, and then like I really got stuck at a light and I couldn't do anything, and like you just like were like throwing up like out of the window, and like it just got everywhere, like all in the car, and it was
Like I
so intense.
like honestly, if you were like I never want to hang out with her again, I feel like I get it. Like I fucked up. Like I really get it. You
But
guys are like
but it was like we genuinely the entire time thought it was like so funny, and like we were like having like a really good time. No, just because like we are like we genuinely like we felt like we were seeing you at your worst, but like we wanted to like take care of you, and like that was like the thing.
so lucky I'm charming. Like that's what I'm getting for this is I'm just so lucky that I'm charming.
We were like, oh, we have to take. We were like, oh, Juliet, we have to take care of her. And so like we like went back to your apartment. We like put you inside of your. We like put you like up into your room, and like your
Yeah.
roommate was sleeping on the couch. That's another story. But like we walked you up to your room,
Yeah.
and You were so like you're a mess because you threw up all over yourself. So Emily and I were like, you need a shower. So we like took your clothes off, and like we were like, okay, go in the shower. Like we are trying to like get you cleaned up and everything. And then like yeah, you were able to like get in the shower, clean up, and then we ended up putting you to bed. Emily went downstairs and we like made you. Oh, give me 1 second.
Huh?
Sorry, we ended up making you toast. Like Emily went downstairs to make you toast because she was like, you need to eat something, and you put something in your stomach, and then you ate like a few bites of the toast, and then you ended up falling asleep on your bed with like holding the trash can. And they were like, okay, she's good. And then we like left. And at that point, it was like 3 a.m., 3:30. We get to our like apartment, and then we go to our like, we have like a little cleaning station that has like a hose and everything. And we had like,
Oh, wow.
we had Clorox wipes. So we were up to like probably 4:35, like cleaning off like the car and its puke. But the entire time we weren't like grossed out. It was just like really funny because we're like, what a night! Like this was a really fun night, and like genuinely like not like it wasn't gross or anything like that. We're like, oh, this is just like she just she just like poor Juliette. Like she just is going through a lot.
Fully happily cleaning up my vomit. Like I can't believe I charmed you guys into being like, this is like a good experience. This is fun. This is just a fun part of a night. But I literally cannot put into words how like grateful I am for you guys, like for taking care of me, for like everything that you guys have like done for me. Like I can't even put into words how like grateful I am for the both of you.
No, I just am I'm happy that we were able to have that like experience, and it just
We'll do it again when you guys come visit, but I will not throw up in anyone's car.
yeah. I definitely want to like I haven't drank in a long time, so I think it's like it'll be really um it'll be really fun to just go and drink again because like I don't drink that often, so we'll see. I think it'll be fun
We'll go to San Francisco.
once
We'll,
everything like dies down.
oh my God, yeah. Yeah. We've been on lockdown since March 16th.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And it's really funny because there's a bar crawl happening. So I wanted to go to an emo night in Berkeley. And then we were like, we're not going to go because like that's how we're going to get it. And then there was like a St. Patty's Day bar crawl, and they had one on the Saturday, and I was like, I wanted to go to that one, but I was like, I'm not going to get the coronavirus. And then it was March 16th that they like closed down, like, and I was like, can't even celebrate St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, it's like such a shitty like time because like you like yeah like Emily and I had a bunch of plans. Like we wanted to set up another vacation. Our 5 year anniversary just passed, and we just weren't able to do like any of it because of how shitty all this is. But it is what it is, and we are here live streaming while we're quarantined, and I think it's been fun, and I'm really happy. But I guess to go back to the questions that we've had.
They get off topic.
I mean, I